89.9 Light FM with Clayton taking you through today. And my special guest on One-on-One is a man that I actually had last in the studio in 2008. So don't worry, I don't expect you to remember everything about his story. Alan Birkett is in the studio with me. G'day, Alan.
Hello, Clayton.
It is so good to have you in again.
Oh, it's great to be here.
Alan, your heart and passion last time we spoke was phenomenal. Let's hear a bit of that journey for those who perhaps didn't listen 4 years ago, didn't hear us then, and then we'll talk a bit about what has happened in the last few years.
Okay. I've been 5 times now to the Philippines, and it all started in 2008 as a mission team from one community church down here in Blackburn. When I came back, I was just reviewing some photographs. I found this little fella with a cleft palate and thought, yeah, I can do something for him because they can't afford it. And so I went to International Needs, and they agreed to set up this Project Joshua, which is for children with special medical needs.
Yeah. And that young boy in the photo was Joshua, wasn't it? Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. So Project Joshua is set up, designed specifically for not just general needs. Was it more for surgery for needs? Is that right?
Yeah. Well, not only surgery,
sure.
but needs beyond the normal requirement in terms of sniffs and coughs and colds.
Yeah, sure.
All that sort of thing.
To put this into perspective, a consultation with a GP in the Philippines, you've told me off here, $3.50 Australian, but most people can't afford it.
No.
Yeah.
Can't afford the bus fare.
No, to even get their foot, let alone
That's
for the
right,
GP.
yeah.
So this is where International Needs can step in to help with that, and then, as you said, help above and beyond
That's
too.
right.
So when we talked last, we were talking about raising some funds
Yes.
to mean that Joshua could get this cleft palate fixed up, and that happened, which is absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
Have you had a chance to meet Joshua?
Oh yes, yeah. I met him last year, but
Right.
it was only last year that we finally got Joshua's palate done because
wow.
he was so malnourished. We had to give him a quite a long supplementary food program to fatten him up enough to have the operation.
Wow, isn't that?
But I met him again last month.
Oh, that is so
and
good.
he's looking great.
I'm guessing, Alan, you get a fair big hug when you meet Joshua.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I reckon. For you, though, it wasn't just an idea of, well, once we get Joshua sorted, that's fine. For you, this was something a lot bigger than this as well. Tell us where it's gone to and what's happening now.
Well, what's happening now, where it's gone to is that we've actually helped 11 children in the last 4 years with cleft palates, with a congenital deformity of both hands. We had him operated on at the Philippines General Hospital, and I've got a good contact there with Dr. Takata.
Great.
She's in the orthopaedic section. And then also we've helped children with cysts, internal cysts. A little girl had an external cyst on the top of her head and a cleft palate.
Wow.
So we've still got to get her palate closed, but the cyst is gone and the lip's been sutured. And this time, where it is now, last month, we had a lass, 12-year-old with enlarged tonsils, been waiting 5 years for the operation.
Oh.
Yeah, what happens with them over there is that they just don't have the money.
Yeah.
And eventually they might pray about it, but eventually they just give up.
Yeah.
Because they can't get anything done for the child.
Yeah.
There is no health scheme in any level of government over there to help these kids, which is pretty criminal, I reckon, but that's the way it is.
So, I mean, this is where you're stepping in to say, well, for the 11 kids, which is phenomenal so far, you've been able to make a difference by helping and raise funds. What are we talking in terms of the costs for these sort of operations? How much does it cost for you to raise money here in Australia to send over for each one of those?
How much does each operation cost?
Yeah, on average. I mean, they're all still a bit different.
Pellets around about $350 to $400.
So it's really not much in the big scheme of things, is it?
The most expensive one was the tonsils so far, and that was $1,200.
Wow.
And sorry.
No, I was just going to say, how are you going around raising those funds? Is it just people you know? Is it just whoever you can? Hey, Clayton, let me get on air again and talk about it. How are you raising these funds?
I'm using any avenue I can, Clayton, and this is one of them.
He'll be busking on the streets pretty soon, everybody.
Yeah, it won't be long. But I go around and kick doors and write to people, and International Needs do a promotion of it as well on their website, and and by mail.
Yeah.
And so all of this helps to keep the money dribbling in. And I've got a couple of benefactors who are always ready to chip a little bit more in, which is wonderful.
Just fantastic.
And but we could always use more.
Yeah. Now, Alan, I'm not meaning to be rude with this, okay? Just go with me here for a second. But you're not the youngest person ever that I've interviewed, and somebody who's perhaps slightly more advanced in age, not much, Alan, but just a little bit, might be saying, look, I'm just going to sit back and focus on my life here in Australia and what I'm doing. Why is it for you that you go, that's just not an option for me?
2008 was a life-changing experience for me. I learnt to look at people through the Lord's eyes, as different from worldly eyes, if I can put it that way. Just the compassion level just rocketed up when I saw what I saw. But when we started Joshua and I was successful, I thought, wow, we can keep this going.
Yeah.
And so by the way, I'm 73 next month, but just in passing.
Yeah, that's right. Just to focus on that.
And so I can keep this going, and there's a continuous need.
Yeah.
And I will keep it going as long as I can.
Yeah. Is there a list of kids that you've got in the Philippines that are sort of on a waiting list? Is that happening at the moment, or is it more just as people come and then you fulfill each sort of request as much as you can?
No, I've got 3 kids waiting for a cleft palate operation at the end of next month when their school year finishes.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a little boy in Manila who fell into a fire a couple of years ago, and when his daddy bandaged up his arm, he can't now straighten his arm. But fortunately, while I was in Manila this year, I took him to the hospital. I linked up with Dr. Takata again. She's the chief hand surgeon. Her husband is the chief orthopedic surgeon.
Oh, wow.
And the chairman of the whole group there all looked at this boy and all said, we can do stuff. So
isn't that good?
And so we're working up that right now to have an operation to get his arm, to allow him to straighten his arm.
Fantastic stuff. What's your vision for it as we get close to finishing our chat today, Alan? What's your vision for what Project Joshua could be? For you at the start, it was, it was a true project of, I'm just starting small. I'm just seeing what I can do here for one boy. And then you went, well, maybe I can actually help a few more out. Do you have a vision for this that, maybe in 2 or 3 or 5 or 20 years' time, it's something bigger? What's your vision?
Yeah. What I've been trying to do, and I'm starting to get some success, is to get the local people there to give it a higher priority. One of the problems with the people, we're in the second poorest province in the country, and their priority every day is get a meal on the table. Yeah. And you want to talk about tomorrow, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Yeah. You get to tomorrow and the priority for the day is put more food on the table. Yeah. But now I'm starting to get some a raising in priority by the major people that we work with over there to actually go and find these children in their daily efforts, to keep an eye out, to pick up these children and therefore broaden the project. Because at some time, and I don't know when it'll be, I won't be able to go. But I don't want the project to stop. Yeah, absolutely. All right, everyone's saying, how can I help? You can contact International Needs. Is that the best way people can help? So head to the website, internationalneeds.org.au. Yes. And look for Project Joshua. Yes. That's a great way. You can also give them a call at 9877 7177. That's 9877 7177. What we're going to do is we're going to put all these details up on our website, along with some photos of some of the kids as well, up on our website too, at lightfm.com.au, along with this podcast. That'll be up there in 60 seconds from now. So all the details to internationalneeds.org.au if you didn't get them down, and the podcast. Alan, we thank you so much. We are inspired by your efforts and your passion and just the smile on your face as you tell these kids' stories as well. Thank you so much for all you're doing through Project Joshua. Thanks for coming in. Thank you so much, Clayton, for the opportunity. Alan Birkett, my guest on One on One. Once again, you can head to the website for all those details, lightfm.com.au.